Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone alike, it's Tuesday. It's 7-ish. We're a little late today. We were doing a little bit of background and catching up, and Alan and Elena are eating pizza because I interrupted their dinner, and that's how this rolls sometimes. But what goes better with pizza than a beer? Ish, indeed. So thanks everyone for joining. It is rock and roll time. Absolutely. That's a cool drink. Get one in. Tonight is going to be awesome. Going to be absolutely so much fun. I've got Alan and Elena on. They're backstage. They're listening. And Alan's got the Bad to the Bone, first gen Monte Carlo. It's SMX powered. It went its first 6-second pass. Here it is on 6 Summer. Its first 200 mile an hour pass on 6 Summer. 4,200 pounds race ready with Alan, who is basically Skeletor. He only adds about 85 pounds likely. Typically, I tell guys like, hey, just scoot over and let me drive it. Not in his case. I would be both fatter and slower than him in his car. So, but this one's going to be cool. Elena was his co-pilot on 6 Summer as well. So she got to kind of be involved in a bit of that. They're doing some fun stuff with the lights. I can't wait to. This is going to be so much fun. But guys, this is going to be such a good deal. We had Rocky Mountain Race Week and last week. That was insane. It was hot. It was super duper fun. Had an absolute blast. I am going to have the winner of the PHAT, Stephen Willingham, on next week. That's going to be kind of the battle from the bottom story for him. Took an 850 car to the top of the PHAT. Battling out with dudes like Bryant Goldstone, who averaged a 6-second ET, and he had an 850 car. So super awesome. And it was crazy hot. It's hot for a bunch of people around as well. The Whitakers are having some storm issues in their area as well. So we're going to be fighting with that a little bit. I seem to bring the bad weather to wherever it is that are the people I'm talking to. So sorry about that. It is what it is. Let's go. Absolutely. It's going to be fun. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share this stuff. I'm going to do a countdown. I'll bring the Whitakers on. We're on. And there they are. They're in front of the Gulf Green. 1971.
72.
Piece. Monte Carlo.
Yes, sir.
And the 6-second, 200 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Monte Carlo. But thank you guys for joining us on That's Cool Drink. Little bit of housekeeping. If you're in full screen mode, you can get out of full screen mode and then click on a box that says comments, and you can see the comments that happen real time. And I can also bring those up on the screen, like Laura Weber saying hi, Alan and Elena.
She's a sweetheart.
Absolutely. Half of the HCR team, and I know that her and Devin give you a ton of help on your program, and we'll have tons of time to talk about them and whatnot. But yes, man, and Adam, of course, LOL.
You guys are matched.
Yeah.
We are matching.
Yeah, you got your...
This is the Gulf Green shirt. She's got the pink there. Right?
Yeah.
And you got stickers. You got the whole mess. Let's where do people buy the Greenie merch?
Well, they can hit me up on Facebook. We can Venmo or any of that. I'll tell you what, Wicked Graphics. Tyler is well worth the money. Tyler Clark, Wicked Graphics right there. call that gentleman, hit him up on Facebook. It's GRAFIXX. He even did some killer stickers of old Greenie. All the cool
and I'm being told in my earphone that stickers are only available with the purchase of a shirt, according to Devin Vanderhoof.
Yeah, that's Devin Vanderhoof. He's he's more than just a
Pretty face.
He's more than a pretty face. I mean, he's more than a bikini model for sure.
Barely more.
Barely. Well, he wanted a 3X shirt, so I sent him a 2X and a diet plan. So
Nice.
I'm working with it.
You're looking to improve his life A to B.
He's so gonna snap my neck over that one. I can tell you that. No. Speaking of Devin,
let's do.
He is he's one of the main reasons that this car, I wouldn't have this car without Devin Vanderhoof and Laura. If I don't mention his sidekick, Justin, that has wired the car and plumbed the car with Devin. Josh, Davis Solutions.
Oh yeah.
You know, I took a car down there and I didn't know what I want. Here's the whole thing with this drag and drive community. You start off with the car and you're like, I don't want to do the drag and drive community. I've had this car for 37 going on 38 years now. And I said, I love my car. I've always called it Greenie. And, you know, we started off drag racing this car with 352 barrel bench seat. And then, of course, comes the nitrous because it's cheap and easy. And, you know, and it just evolves into, you know, Steve Morris engines, SMX with more power than traction's ever available in any form of racing. Right. So
it goes out of control before you know it.
It's like drinking out of a spittoon. Once you get started, you're there to the end.
Here we go. I mean, or else.
But I started off wanting to build a car, and I took it to Skinny Kid's chassis shop, and he builds a lot of drag and drive cars. And I got to look at, you know, like Jason Sachs's car, the Cowboy Up Nova. That thing is a work of art.
It's amazing. It's an amazing car.
It's an amazing car, and it's going to be back out hopefully this winter coming up.
I was going to say real quick here, it's just finishing some of the chassis work and whatnot, and
it's at paint right now. I spoke
at paint now
last week, and you know, like I told him, I said, don't get in a hurry. You know, I got a little excited. Keith had my car. He had some back issues. I went and picked it up. He closed his shop down and sold it. And Keith has built some awesome cars. I've known Keith, you know, back from the 90s when he did stuff with Billy Glidden, building a lot of their cars that I was fortunate enough to be around since, you know, the start of Billy's racing career, growing up with Billy. He'll be walking in here shortly. He is actually machining a piece from my throttle body out of the race car shop right now, trying to beat the storm, helping me. I'm fortunate enough. I know a lot of smart people. But I guess how I got started is I said, you know, hey, I want to build a car, and I don't want to go, I don't want to do drag and drive. I'm used to heads up. I want the fastest car to win. I like a lot of horsepower. I like figuring out chassis. And then I went to a drag and drive, and, you know, I helped Joe Barry. You know, I threw a hog head in after Indy was closed. He broke a rear end, and we threw a hog head in for Joe with Joey Barry and helping them. And, you know, I've known Joe a long time, you know.
Joe's real life OG gangster, that dude.
I miss Joe Barry. I love Joey. He's a gentleman and a scholar and a hell of a racer. Then I said, okay, well, shit, I'm going to build a drag and drive car. And then, you know, I took the card and I called Greg Risk. He's a chassis builder in Indianapolis, Greg Risk Racecraft. And Greg has done a lot of stuff from like Drew Skillman, Bill Skillman, Ray Skillman, from Pro Stock to Super Stock Modified, just, you know, anything. Greg has built chassis, and they've went fast and they've won. And so I called him up and I said, you know, will you help me? You know, and a lot of people call a chassis shop and say, I need you to do something. I said, would you do my car? Greg said,
Right.
yeah, when you want. And I told him what I wanted. And he said, that's easy enough. Let's take it a step further. And then, you know, Greg built me a car. And I say he's built me a boring car. You sit in there, you let go of the button, you put your arm there, and you just hang on, and it goes straight. It's really so easy to drive. And everybody's like, man, your car's so fast and it goes straight. Well, I know a lot of smart people, and I don't saw on the wheel. I think's the other thing too. I don't get excited in the car. And then, you know, it left Greg's shop, and we contacted Devin, and I said, will you wire my car? And he said, yeah, I'd be happy to. So he wired it and plumbed it. And, you know, Devin is gave me the right direction. You know, I always worked with Billy Glidden years ago and in the shop. And, you know, when we went to the racetrack, not only was you expected to win, you did win. I mean,
Right.
you know, his win record is still not matched by anybody in heads up racing over any form of racing. But, you know, you worked in the shop, you know, 7 days a week, morning, noon, and night. You know, I don't have TV at home. We don't go home and watch TV. Donna, Elena, and I will go and rent a movie or something. But as a TV show, I couldn't tell you what's popular, unpopular. I don't care. But Devin took me down a road that, you know, said, here's what you do. And Devin made a comment. He said, you win the races in the garage. You know, it's
Oh yeah, that's true.
9 o'clock at night, and all three of us are here turning wrenches on greenie, trying to be prepared for NMCA race. We was invited to run in an 8-car shootout next week. But
That's going to be awesome. NMCA puts on a hell of a show. That's going to be an absolute blast.
Martin, Michigan, people need to go watch if they've never seen it or participate. And that's the thing about the drag and drive is Devin had never done a drag and drive. I was there at his first one, and, you know, it hooks you. And it's fun,
Right.
it's exciting. But Devin plumbed and wired the car, gave me a tuning education that is impeccable. I've went to his tuning classes, and I kept telling him and Pete Harrell, you're not charging enough money. And just like I'll make a statement right now, Adam and Derek Putnam, you guys need to teach. And I've told you this face to face.
You have.
Everybody start pounding Adam and Derek Putnam and start doing announcing classes. If you ever go to a race with these two guys, when they announce it, they fill in the time, they make it exciting, they're educated about every car there, every participant, and they make everybody feel like they're John Force at the drag strip. And
Yeah, I got maybe the coolest compliment I've ever gotten on the live stream last week at Rocky Mountain Race Week. A guy commented in the comments and said, I appreciate the way he does business because I'm blind. I can't see the racing. Him calling every pair keeps me in the loop of what is going on out there. And like I can actually stay in tune with drag racing, even though I can't see what's going on with drag racing. And I was like, how cool is that? Like what? I had no idea. I'd never thought of that. Never thought of that ever. Like how cool is that to have thought of that? But
listen
yeah,
to a baseball game on the radio. You know, when you're 55 like me, you listen to a Cincinnati's Red baseball game on the radio, and there's something about it. And, you know, the thing is if people's tuning into the race online, which, you know, you need to do it. I just read, Laura, I still remember you came to Devin's base tuning class 2 days in a row so that you wouldn't miss anything. That was the best. So I paid my money, and I'm going on a Saturday base tuning class. And Laura called me, and she said, hey, did you mean to do it Saturday and Sunday? I said, yeah. I said, I'm that stupid. I said, I'm going to take the class twice because I know I'll miss something, or I'll have you know, do it. And she's like, nobody's ever done that before. I said, nobody's ever been there. It's dumb as I am. So they just laugh. But, you know, their classes are impeccable. I tell everybody, if you think you know something about tuning, go to one of Devin's classes. And then if you don't feel like you've learned anything, I said, you're totally wrong. You didn't pay attention. And
And
it's
like
just
I talked to Darce Laws, he went to one of the methanol classes
Yeah.
that they put on, and he was like, they gave us a car with nothing in it, and it was making like 1,400 horsepower in like 2 hours. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Like it didn't run. It was, here's a blank laptop. Good luck. Yeah, that's a pretty good statement after the fact of that class. Like the up arrow class,
it's well worth the
go for
money.
it.
Even if you go to the Holly classes, I don't believe you can ever spend enough money and have too much education. I mean, so you learn something that you never use, but you'll help somebody else that's beside you. And like Devin has taught me, he said everybody knows how to tune a car until something happens. So you're driving down the road and all of a sudden the car dies, and then how do you figure out where do you go from it? Or you drop your laptop and you wipe everything out. Can you put your tune back in it? So taking screenshots and just being able, like I said, Devin has been a good education and a good roadmap of what to do and what not to do. And he's been kind enough to share the information. Now, some people get hurt because Devin he doesn't sugarcoat anything, and
Right.
that's what I salute him about. He'll just flat tell you that you're a homo with big floppy tires, and I love that about him. So,
Right, exactly. Like that's that dude, and that's what sometimes you just need you are an idiot. Shut up
yeah,
and do what I tell you to do, and you won't blow your junk up. And
Yeah.
you can go sixes at 200 and at 4,200 pounds.
Well,
Which
how many other people's going to tune a car that is 4,200 pounds that has gone sixes? Devin made a statement. He says, this is the best car I've ever messed with because I hate its guts, but I love it to death. So
Right.
I think it's a challenge. Well, I don't know if there's too many challenges for Devin. He's very smart. But like I said, there's so many people in the drag and drive that help you. Here, we've got unplug this. I got here. We'll take a view.
we're going for a walk here.
I got everybody in the world helps me. Say hi, Billy.
Hi, everybody.
I mean, it's just I've got so many smart people that help me that I do so many dumb things that like I tell everybody, it takes a village for this to work. And it doesn't matter if you have a 16-second car. There's a family that come out and we raced with, and their boy was at Sixth Summer, and he made 16-second passes, and he was so excited. I think I was more excited watching that kid do his first burnout. And the look on his face, and when he come by me, he gave me a high five. I think I was more excited than when I ran 6 seconds. And like Doug Cook, side by side, watching Doug make his first 200 pass and doing the turnoff, and we're both giving each other thumbs up.
Yep.
It's the camaraderie.
Well, and then Blaine. I mean,
that kid, he'll never make it. 16 years old, running in the four. What a flunk.
He's ruined. He's ruined.
He's ruined. He's gonna have to go like top fuel drag racing when he's like 18 to do anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like I was asking his dad, I was like, how quick have you been? He's like 520. Like, I mean, like that's a mile in.
Blaine's dad only went 520s.
He's only gone 520s. So Blaine's been like, Tom has only been 520s.
Tom, you can never discipline the kid again. He's faster.
Never again.
That's it.
Never again. He's been 4/10 quicker than him. And he just, I looked at him at one point at Sixth Summer, and I was like, like 10 years ago, you were wiping his ass. And he was like, not quite exactly, but like almost, dude. And like, fuck that. It was good.
Kevin Smith. Woohoo, rock. Kevin, you need to get finishing that Oldsmobile, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, he does.
Get off here and start welding, finishing that funny car cage. I'll tell you what, there's probably people on here that don't follow Kevin Smith on YouTube.
Yeah, you should.
Look up Kevin Smith, look at how good a fabricator this guy is. And the thing about Kevin that's amazing that people don't understand is he's like a diamond. He has so many facets of different attributes and different racing communities that he's dealing with. He's worked.
It's crazy when you go through his shop.
Oh.
And yeah, he's got a little like mini sprint car and like a like a sprint car, like a big, and there's drag and drive cars and there's stuff hanging all over the place. And he's a full, he's a shop owner too. He's got that going on. But for sure, check it out. KSR Performance and Fab.
Yeah, he was just in Ohio with I think the Porsche boys, wasn't he? I mean, I don't. It's amazing what Kevin Smith does. So, if you're really not following a lot of these guys on YouTube, a lot of people follow old Cletus McFarland. But, if you'll go through Cletus's stuff and like Steve Morris engines, you want to get educated on engines and so forth. Steve Morris, even Kyle, his son's got his own YouTube page. We started a YouTube page called Mile Per Hour Mayhem, and all I'm doing is just stuff I'm trying to. Okay, for instance, we're going to come around to the back.
Stand back up. Elena's like not even going to get a word in edgewise.
So right here, you got your nice little parachute switch, right? And it says shoots or death. So I click this on when I've got CO2, the shoots get hard and they come out. Off as death. Right here is getting an LED light, and it's a green light. And Devin Vanderhoof at HCR Innovations is making a kit. So everybody can get a hold of it and make a kit. It's going to have a pressure switch, and it's going to have a green LED. And this is what needs to happen. I'm going to start on the tech guys that I want to see a new NHRA rule in the rule book of when you go up to the starting line and you've charged your parachutes and that CO2's on, that pressure switch lights up a green light.
Green, so no death.
And everybody at the starting line, the starting guys, the guy mopping it up, I don't care if you leave that burnout box, everybody looks at the back of the car. You're setting wheelie bars if you got big floppy tires on it. I'm sorry. But right there is a good safety thing that I come up with an idea and I talk to Devin about, and he's putting packages together. And I believe what happened is it could save somebody's life. Right. It's easy enough to run out of CO2. It's easy enough to forget to turn the bottle on. It's easy enough. I was down there when Lutz did a humongous pass at Sick Week. And what happened is it shook the tires. He pedaled through it, and the switch, the off position is down. And when he went down through there, it shut his parachutes off. And I'm packing my parachutes, and he comes in around the corner about 70 mile an hour hot. And I looked at Lutz and I said, "You in a hurry?" And I said, I kind of would use the parachutes. He's like, "Oh," I mean, it rattled him. I mean, his brakes, he had TBMs on it and they were glowing red. And we walked around and the switch was off. So then they, review the footage, and during the burnout, when the car left, the switch was on. So There's another thing. You can turn your switch sideways. And if you think you're going to have that problem, or, if the switch gets worn, replace it. But I believe that it would save a whole lot of time and lives if you can look back there and every car has a green light and it's ready to go and the chutes will work. So that's smart. That's something that we're releasing. And John Sears, wake up, bud. Start watching these. You'll learn something about tech. I'm tired of teaching you everything.
Royce Payton likes that one for sure.
Yeah, there's so many smart guys in this, and we all help each other. That's the whole key about the drag and drive. I broke down on the side of the road at 4 a.m, and a bunch of young punks come rolling up, and I looked at one of them. I said, "You wouldn't have a number 4 nitrous cap, would you?" Because we tore a brake line, the caliper off. He's like, "Yeah, got about a dozen of them." I'm like,
"Yeah, sure enough, I've got yeah."
Yeah, so it takes a village, and it takes a lot of smart people to help us all, because I've spent a lot of time and a lot of money, and I've had a lot of help building this car, but I break shit probably more than anybody else out there. I will Japanese stress test it.
It makes a ton of power, and it's a jillion pounds, and you're an idiot.
Yeah,
So,
there's that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna put it through the stress test.
Yeah, you can ride the idiot train a little bit longer, and we've probably seen all the oil down the side of the car, and that was a boo-boo on my fault, my part too.
That'll happen.
Yeah, well, it happens. But I think we got her fixed. I actually put the right piston oil rings on it this time. Instead of a 13-pound ring, we got a 25-pound ring on it. So we might try sealing up a little oil, and
so it might actually, keep the oil
in the engine,
from there.
If you'll let me listen, everybody that's on here, if you'll let me drive your drag and drive car, I will do this Z-Bart rust proofing like I've done on my car.
Oh yeah. I mean, Nitro 70 in every crevice.
Yeah.
Do you see that shine?
Oh yeah. You can't pay for that. That you cannot. There's no amount of money you can pay to have a greasy, driver's side of your car.
Oh God.
And I saw you when you were checking into the hotel, and you were, just because that was out of your side, and you were just covered. Just
specks all over me. Of course, I'm not going to roll the window up because I'm like, the best one is when it started raining a little bit, and people were passing me, and I think they were waving with more than one finger, but I couldn't tell. So their windshield wipers was smeared. I thought, man, when we get to the hotel, there's going to be a half a dozen dudes that just beat the crap out of me.
And that didn't happen.
No.
Instead, a half a dozen dudes got your stuff put back together while you were able to actually take a quick shower.
Yeah,
which is nice.
So show up to help. Steve Morris showed up to help Cletus. And I texted him and said, hey, I got a bad problem. And he's like, hey, I'm getting ready to leave Garrett. I'm heading your way. He said, why didn't you stop at, Motions? I'm like, I wanted to make it to the hotel where Garrett, had his own issues. And
be all involved in his stuff too.
Well, I carry a lot of parts. That's the thing is I thought Garrett had a lifter problem, and I had a set of lifters, and be honest with you, I'd have pulled my engine out and gave it to Garrett, to run the engine. Clark's the same way. I love Clark Rosenstengel. If I had to pull a cylinder head off my engine to put it on Clark's, I'd darn sure do it because Clark's just a super guy. I rode with him on a couple drag and drives now. Mm-hmm. And, and people don't understand the drag and drive stuff. So when I rode with Clark, I looked at him at one point and I said, hey, man, I said, you don't understand. I said, I don't mind being your mechanic. I said, but, I've got to be your mechanic. I got to be your jester. I got to be your navigation system. I've got to be your marriage counselor. It's just, because
that's what you do in drag and drive.
It's just, because it's stressful, when his wife calls, I'm like, hang up on her. We got to go racing, and Clark's going to kill me. But, and the fun thing with Clark is he knows how to have a good time. We were driving and I said, turn right here. And we turned and I took him through a trailer park. And he's like, you told me to turn the wrong thing. I said, no, this looks like a nice trailer park. He's like, dude, I am going to soak.
Thinking about buying a couple and just,
So this 90-year-old crack whore's out there smoking her cigarette with no teeth. And she's like, hey, baby. So Clark, to be a jerk, makes another loop so she can talk to me. He's like, get out and talk to your girlfriend. So that's the fun thing is, when you can take, 4,500 horsepower Camaro and make your buddy turn through a trailer park. And
to hoot and holler at the 90-year-old.
Yeah. Not that I'm hateful like that, but boy, we've had a lot of time.
Doug Waldrop wants to know, Elena, does he ever get mad?
Go to work, Elena. Get to work.
It's stressful at times, so we butt heads a little bit, but we try to have fun. You know, this is just a hobby. It's to have fun, and you know, it's not. You don't want to make it all stressful and yelling at each other. I mean, why do
Right.
it then?
Right.
So,
And like I say that a lot. Like, we're not curing cancer here. We're driving race cars. We're not sending anything to space. Like, we're just being idiots driving around burning oil.
Well,
you know,
an
we
idiot.
could be at work right now. So
Yeah,
you know,
you could be getting shot at again.
could be getting shot at. I say that a lot too. As you know, having a great day, haven't gotten shot at in like 10 years.
That's cool.
Drink.
No, it's
and burnouts. Rovic says.
yeah, Raj does some
Yeah.
burnouts.
Oh, he's so 1320. There's another cool dude. Kyle Loftus.
Is awesome.
He's just, if nobody's ever met or spent 5 or 10 minutes to be able to talk to him, he is a genuine, nice gentleman. He's a good person. He climbs in the car with me, and, hey, let's go for a ride. So we throw a lane in with Raj. So, of course, first thing Raj does with my beautiful daughter, my pride and joy, he does this big old burnout taking off from the gas station. I'm like, that's a true buddy. I mean, only a true friend would really
would do that. Yeah. Just, show her the way.
So she rode with him until the next stop, and Kyle left because I lost my dad in December. And you ask if I ever get mad, man, was I a dick. I lost my dad in December, and I had a sorry attitude. I really did. I really fought it and was mad and angry and lost.
Mm-hmm.
And
and Kyle recently lost his dad.
Yeah, he lost his in November. And I was up at Steve Morris's, and Steve's my engine builder, and Steve is a wonderful person. Steve's the type of guy that if you meet him and you know him, you'll want to talk to him every day the rest of your life. He's a good person, and his wife is a sweetheart and an angel. And his kids are good kids, and they're good Christian-based family. So I was talking to Steve, and I was up there at his place, and I was getting everything ready for this season. And I said, Steve, man, my attitude is piss poor. I said, I've got a bad attitude. I'm cussing. I'm just being an idiot. I said, I'm hateful to my fiance, Donna. I said, I'm short. I'm snappy. I said, I just got to get, I said, when Tom Hammonds was standing there and the dyno chucked a piece out past Tom and him, I said, how did you stay so calm? I said, man, I'm just on edge and having trouble. And this Saturday, Steve called me and he says, my wife and I, Val, was talking about it. And he said, you're ungrateful. He said, man, you have all your faculties. He said, you're able to eat, feed yourself. He says, then you've got a good business. He said, look at your car, your family. He said, man, there's everything for you. He said, you have no gratitude. And I sit there a second and I said, you're right. I've got a bad attitude and no gratitude. I said, my dad, I had not, he lived to be 91. I said, what a wonderful opportunity.
Long life.
Yeah. And I said, I'm just being selfish and a jerk. And that talk with Steve really turned me around, and I started to see everything that I need to be grateful for and humble and appreciative. So my attitude has it gotten better, Donna?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But, it takes a village, and this stuff is stressful if you let it be stressful. There's Kyle that rode with me. So then Kyle, we just had a good talk, and he's just a wonderful person. I don't care what he does with videos or cars. Kyle will succeed just because he's a wonderful person. And he had some words of wisdom for me. Like I said, the people I've met along the drag and drive, some of them I've been able to help. Some of them's helped me. Some of them's, a word of encouragement. it's a good community, and I think everybody has had a sour taste about a car or a breakage, so we all understand where we're at. And if you haven't run a drag and drive, try
What's
it.
wrong with you? You
Yeah,
idiot.
follow along. I mean, even if you follow along on, thank God that that Cletus is doing it for $2 a day. You can watch 350 cars go down a drag strip and do trailer burnouts and hear stories, and
Well,
Derek announces.
he does a bunch of other really, really cool stuff. Check out the annual pass is half price.
Yeah.
And the Van Prix is worth the price of engagement here of entertainment. It's admission. That's what I'm trying to say. The price of admission. These are idiots that jump minivans at all these races they go to, and you got to hit the jump once at least. It's wild. It's worth every bit of it for sure. So check that stuff out for sure. I want to know when you, Alan,
Yes,
realized that you were going to be absolutely ruin the rest of your life and knew that you were going to be a drag and drive junkie. Like, can you pinpoint that time frame?
I think it's when I went to a drag and drive. My car was in Greg Rist's chassis shop, and
what year, circa?
What, about two or 3 years ago?
Okay.
And it come through Indianapolis, come to Lucas Oil Stadium, and or Lucas Oil, not stadium, but
Lucas Oil.
We call it Raceway Park. I mean, it's what IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park. We're old. That's what it's been forever. And I was out there, and I'd met Jason before, and then Jason was working on his car, and I knew Keith, and I'd seen the car when it was up at Keith Ingley's Skinny Kids chassis shop, and got talking to Jason, and I just seen the attention to detail that Jason had with his car, and I seen some of the struggles that he had, and meeting Jason Sack and getting to know him and talking to him and thinking, a car that fabulous, that well built, and that well maintained. This is something that I know that I'm going to do. I mean, it's like getting a taste of candy when you're a kid. You want McDonald's and candy. You damn sure don't want no string peas or any crap like that.
No. And that dude's a Casper, Wyoming boy. He's a salt of the earth. He'll same deal. He'll give you whatever you got if you need it.
But his wife, I was over there, and she walks all the way across the pits, and I think I was with Clark, helping Clark, and she makes me a steak, and and feeds me what was the Rice Krispie treats that had the
the Fruity Pebbles.
Oh yeah, if she's listening, I will take another batch of Fruity Pebble Rice Krispie treats. But I mean, it's just that they invite you in. They fed me, and it's just, I'm like,
and they never met you. They're just like, here, let's just, you're in this world now. Let's break bread. Like, it doesn't matter if you came here, then you're my family. So we're going to take care of you.
And I come from a background of, I guess you'd call it grudge racing or heads up racing. We're the fastest car. If you were on a 410 tree and you cut a 430 light or worse, you were a slug.
You're done, right?
Oh yeah, I would so run you over. I mean, it didn't matter how fast your car was. I was going to be treeing you, and you were going to be hating life. So it's that's why I love Lyle Barnett. I mean, I think he went like 006. I watched him
on a 410s Pro Tree.
On a 410s Pro Tree. And the thing is he's shallow stage. He's flickering the bulbs, and he goes
and still goes 4.
Oh yeah, and I mean,
and then his car is just deadly.
Yeah,
so you're done. You're dead. I mean,
that's the type of racing I'm used to. I'm used to, you go out there, and if you go, 410 or 412, that's an okay line.
Right. You'll win. You'll turn on some wind lights.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, you're not, it better be 4-0. It better be 4-0 something, or, you got left in the dirt. So it's the drag and drive. I've got some local boys that come out of automotion race cars, and Jim, he just he's a good dude, and he's like, yeah, he said some of our buddies, they don't really think it's drag racing because you're not heads up racing. I'm like, well, when have they ever built a 6-second car that weighs 4,200 pounds and they've come out and drove it a couple thousand miles and beat on me? Let's show up, run heavy class, or I'll run a class.
We can run heads up.
Me and you will run heads up for $1,000 every run. Let's go bang on them. I mean, I want to get my buddies out there. John Craighead, get your Malibu and get your ass to a drag and drive. I'm calling you out.
Yeah, you idiot.
Yeah, you dummy. Quit driving your
big
car
dummy
on a Saturday.
I say it all the time. It's ruining people. I ruin them, day in and day out. I ruin dudes, and like I throw up money. At Rocky Mountain Race Week, I put up my own money, and I gather money along the way, and I split whatever I come up with between a rookie, so never done a drag and drive, and then a young gun, 21 or under, competitor, and I split $750 a piece, so I get $1,500 out to those guys, and anything over that amount I give to charity. So I had $2,700 this time that I just begged, borrowed, and stole. And yeah, I give all the rookies a little R. They have a little R sticker on their car, and they wear that stuff proud. And all week, people keep an extra eye out for rookies. Answer questions that they've got because you have an R on your car. If they're doing something stupid, tell them they're doing something stupid, but at the same time, keep an eye out for them and let us know that they're doing something cool, and one of them could win $750. So it's this time at Rocky Mountain Race Week, it was it was like the Furnace Blast Nationals. It was 109 heat index. It was insane, man. And these rookies came out, and I don't think I had a single rookie fall out of the event. So I had 40 something brand new drag and drive people, and I beam because I've ruined their lives. They will do this forever, and it doesn't matter what event they're going to do. Like, do one, and the rest will follow because it, like you said earlier, it's a hook. It hooks you, and you're ruined. You will be forever poor. You will be forever working on your car, and you'll be forever thinking about it in a drag and drive mindset because it's not a full out race car. It can't be. It has to live for long sections of mileage, and that's part of it.
Clint Sadowski said, Monty. There's you a dude right there.
Clint Sadowski, I had on my show.
He's a good golfer, isn't he? Pro golfer?
He used to do golf. Yep, used to do golf. Not very much actual, athletic talent.
Yeah, just
his world necessarily. Dude, how about Jazzy, his daughter?
I know. So I was getting ready to say
60.
Yeah,
in his car.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.
How about
thanks?
See what I got? Get her a license next time. Let's do that first.
Let's hold on here. Let's talk without a link. Clint, quit letting your daughter drive the car. Somebody's getting some ideas, bud. You're going to cost me a lot of time and money. Stay in your Camaro, stay in your lane. We're 50 years old plus, bud.
Right. Yep. So anyway, yeah, she was the baddest chick on the property for a whole day at Rocky Mountain Race Week, and that was a very cool deal to be able to call. And like I said, I've had Clint on this show. Clint struck out Barry Bonds.
I know.
Clint also gave up home runs to Barry Bonds. So he's a humble dude. His story is amazing. Go check it out. It's available on all the podcast platforms. It's called That's Cool Drink. So go check it out. It's out there. He wasn't even. The scouts came to look at another player. He wasn't even supposed to go. No, he was on no one's radar. And he smoked the dude that they came out to look at, and they ended up signing him. it's wild, man. He had no plans to play baseball after high school. Zero plans.
Well, he screwed that up real well.
Yeah, and ended up in the big leagues.
Yeah, diamond.
What a cool story.
Yeah, and he had a Monte Carlo in high school like mine. The green one.
Yes, he did.
So,
Yeah, and I've got a video of him backing out of his garage, and he kills it in the in like the alley, and his buddies razzing him. It doesn't sound like it runs at all or nothing like it. It was awesome. That was a really good one.
I think to be a good father that you need to give your daughter at least 2,000 plus horsepower at 16 and let her drive. So I've already voted for him for Father of the Year, and a dirt bike with knobby tires, and say, here.
She does that too.
Yeah. So
what horsepower do you get at 23?
See what you started, Clint? Are you paying attention?
You see, Clint? Yeah, exactly. So Elena, when did you get ruined on this drag and drive stuff?
I always wanted to do it, but it was difficult for me to do it with school. But
yeah, you were in school, right?
I mean, really, this 6th summer ruined it for me because I didn't expect. After vacation, you come back and you have this dread, and you just don't want to be at home. And I didn't really expect that feeling after 6th summer. I thought there was going to be some relief from not having to work on the car day and night. But that exact feeling of dread happened. And I told him the next day, I said, like, I did not expect to feel this way after. And I just wanted to go right back out and do another one.
You almost feel like you're cheating. Like you slept in. Like, we don't have anywhere to be this morning. Like, where's the map? Where are we supposed to go? And you're home. You don't have anything to do.
It's going from 100 like back to 0 because you have the car day and night. Then you're talking to the whole racing community, and it's just such a good community, and it's talking day and night, and it's just a whole nother level that I thought there was going to be relief from, and I did not like feeling the dread after.
Totally. And you've watched on previous like live streams and stuff like that, I assume, but is this your first time actually on a drag and drive?
Yeah.
At 6th summer? So the difference, and that's like a lot of what the Freedom Plus guys are trying to do is on the drag and drive hangover.
Was a hangover.
It's the after you drink, it's the drag and drive, the drinking hangover.
Yeah.
Well, and I knew I was gonna like drag and drive because Donna and I drove down to Florida when he was riding with Clark.
Yeah.
Because he was on for his birthday, and so we drove down there to see him, and we followed Steve Morris and a couple other guys a lot. And I thought it was just so cool, and watching them all go as fast as they were. I didn't expect it because I was used to Brown County racing where they go. It's like watching an interstate. It's like so slow and not that interesting. So watching the sick week in Florida was a whole nother level to where I enjoyed it. And I knew I'd enjoy it actually being a co-pilot.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just such a different thing from watching live streams because you can see the racing, but there's so much more to it. I mean, living on the road with your old man, farting, eating gas station roller tacos, and that's just there's so much more of the soul of it.
Then
around
I
on the
had to
street.
share a bed with him because Steve Morris took my bed a couple of the nights. So,
but who had to sleep on the floor in the hallway?
Oh, then he slept on the floor in the hallway one night because Steve and I were knocked out. And
I knock. Nobody answers. I'm like, all right. So I knock again. I'm like, so I text her, hey, I'm outside the door. And then I'm like, well, I'm tired. I got to get a couple hours sleep. So then Ricky comes down from sick to mag, and he's like, you dumbass, come on up. We got an extra room. So I crash
Ricky. Ricky. I love that dude.
He's awesome. So then I laid down in the hallway, and he comes and, I hear somebody walking, and he's like, what are you doing? You're an idiot. Get up here. So I lay down. And so then the next day, Luke goes, I thought I was hallucinating. I woke up and I look over in the other bed, and you were there. I go, you dreaming about me? I wasn't in bed. So if I'd have thought, I would have just crawled in bed with Luke and licked the back of his ear and said, I love you, Luke. Was it good for you? And I'd have freaked him out.
Lukey.
Yeah, he'd have probably quit Sick the Mag and went back home, and he'd have been a goner. But
Introduce us to your better half here.
So
And
Donna
she's here as well.
yeah,
No, that's not.
yeah, she's an turnstile camera. She teaches.
You're flipping us off. She's
Yeah.
number
She
one.
just comes from the gym. She's taught kickboxing and body works and so forth since she's been 19. So she just got back from the gym and helping us on the car. She's like, I look awful. I'm like, man, this is everybody's fiance looks rough in the car and after the gym. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Exactly.
know, and Donna rode with me and pit crew for me. She's, we put her through hell in a handbasket. So look, Laura Weber, Donna, say hi to Laura. And here's the thing: is most people in the drag and drive community, if the guy's the driver, we get all the attributes. Everybody tell you, oh, Devin's so smart, he's so great. Tell Devin to order a pizza. He'll screw it up 9 out of 10 times. If I go, Devin, mail that to me. He cannot lick an envelope. He cannot put the stamp on the envelope. If it's not for Laura, nothing would ever get shipped out. Now, wiring, plumbing, tuning.
Got that stuff down. Right.
Yeah, but I mean, we're bragging on Laura right now. But she's. And I'm bragging on Donna and Elena because without their help, I mean, I'm stuck in the water.
No, exactly. And I wrote an article actually on Sick the Mag about co-pilots on co-piloting, and you're only as good as your co-pilot because sometimes you just might want to quit, and they're like, "Why would we quit? We're here. Let's go. Let's go." So.
Yeah. And I need the pep talk. Donna was like, "Come on, stay awake, and then the best one is it's 4:00 in the morning and the roads are just atrocious. We're going to get into Hot Rod magazine, Motor Trend. So we pull into a stop and there's a 40 Willis coupe, red, gorgeous, stainless steel exhaust, and it drops in a hole that you could put both hands like this, and it was 12, 13, 14 inches deep. Bass drum wouldn't have filled it in. He comes smoking in, hammers his car. We creep in. Devin Vanderhoof's, he's been in front of us, isn't he? Or
He was
behind
in
us?
front of us.
Him and Josh is in front of us, dragging that car, convertible top, dirt roads. Dude runs up, puts a camera in my face and says, what do you think of Motor Trend, Hot Rod magazine? I said, nothing treats you like a piece of shit like Hot Rod magazine. And the problem is, and why I'm going to give such a good attribute to Tom is Tom and Luke, they drive and they go to these places and they go, oh, we're going to be coming through. We're going to have 350 cars to 600 cars. We're going to have 1,200 people. We're going to have places to eat. This is the time that stuff's open. And some of the ice cream shops stay open later for us. Mm-hmm. It's advantageous because we all like ice cream. And if you don't like ice cream, I don't trust you.
Then there's something basically wrong with you.
Yeah. There's an issue with you. But Tom and Luke do such a wonderful job setting up the stops by saying, here's what's coming in. Hot Rod magazine, we go to these stops, there's 3 people working, they're out of barbecue, and the girl said, we didn't know you guys were coming. Really? The unpaved parking lot, only 4 gas pumps that work, 1,200 people coming through and 3 employees working at a barbecue place, and Hot Rod magazine didn't notify it. Freiberger did a great job designing this, but this isn't a Japanese stress test. I don't have $500,000 wrapped up in a car to take it out and beat the shit out of it, to trash it just because I can go, God, I got me a jacket from Hot Rod Drag Week. Have enough respect for the communities that we go through. And don't be a dick. That's the whole thing that I can say to Freiberger. And I'll tell him face to face, I'm good with it. you can prove that a car can go 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 miles, whatever you want to do. I mean, I'll do a call out. How about Freiberger and I start at California? He built a car that can go 6 seconds, and him and I stop 3 times a week at any drag strip, and we'll blast each other to death and see who outruns each other. And we'll start at California, and let's end it at Atco, New Jersey, and just do flashlight starts at that old crappy track. But the problem is, if we don't treat the communities that we drive through with respect and dignity, then we become a nuisance. We don't want to be viewed as a community of nuisance. We want to be viewed of, I used to have an old green Camaro, or I had a blue Mustang, and, people come up and, Richard Gudo, I mean, you can't have a better guy coming down from Canada going through all the states with his dad as a representative of the drag racing, drag and drive,
the national drag and drive community.
Yeah. So he's representing, I mean, we need Mexicans coming up from Mexico. We need Canadians coming down from Canada. We've got Australians coming over from across the seas.
We got dudes from the UK. We got, you name it. We got dudes from Sweden.
Yeah, we got the Sweden guys. Okay. I wrote an article to did you read the article I wrote to Derek?
I did not, but Donna is in the background and she's going.
Yeah, here's the thing with the Swedes, okay? Every time they're at the starting line, I always start going because it's a circle thing, okay? Here's the test. Here's a true test of how awesome the Swedes are. They will bring 12 to 25 people over with them that cost $5,000 in Australia too. Yes, sir. So Austria, yeah. So
put another strip on the bobby.
Yeah. I love the guys, but the thing is, they bring 10 to 20 people, 15 to 20 people.
Oh yeah, it's a party.
Ask 15 people to go to your local drag strip with you. These people fly in, they get hotel rooms. I mean, this is a lot of money and time spent. Then they're at the starting line. Then they put their national flag on their car. I mean, they love what they do, and when I first seen them, I thought, man, this is kind of a clown show. And then I looked at them and I said, no. I said, they have more, they're Dumb and Dumber reference, Adam.
Yep. She got it.
Yes,
she got it.
But the thing is they have more pride than we do as Americans. Nobody's putting an American flag on their car. They're not driving around. What we're doing is, you look at Devon's Mustang. There's some kid right now with the picture of Devon's Mustang on their wall, and they're saying, I want to build a car like that when I get old enough. There's somebody with Clint Sadowski's baseball card at home going, I want to be a pitcher. Oh, shit, I want to own a 67, 68, or 69 Camaro because of Clint Sadowski.
Right.
Because
I just remembered I bought 30 maybe of his baseball cards that I sent to him to sign. And I didn't get those. I'm going to get with Clint. And I need to get them baseball cards back because I'm going to give those out to winners at one of these events one day.
I'm going to win the event because I want a baseball card.
And I want a signed baseball card from Clint. I have a rookie Clint Sadowski baseball card that is going to be signed.
That is awesome. And see, I just tease him. I'm always like, well, does he golf or do 10? I don't. Yeah, but I think. And the thing is, though, this is we're setting the groundwork for years to come. You've got to look at, Tony Christian just passed away. I was fortunate enough to race with Tony years ago.
Yep.
And I'm,
early fastest streetcar guy. If you guys did, he's a 57.
Let's back it up to the pro stock days.
Right.
I mean, let's back it up to the 80s. I ran around with Rusty Glidden, Billy Glidden, their dad's Bob Glidden. They ran pro stock. So, I remember, Grumpy Jenkins standing at the starting line, telling me a dirty joke. I mean, that dude was awesome. So it's you go back to these guys that mentored us as kids or that we looked up to. You know, some of these drag and drive guys, you know, Lutz. I mean,
I still can't believe that I get to rub elbows with dudes that I read about in magazines.
Yeah, Larson. I mean, what a great guy.
I mean, Tom Bailey.
Tom.
I mean, right. He's kind of got this thing and, you know, whatever.
Yeah, he's
but,
no, Tom is wonderful.
The dudes that we get to, that we have the ability to hang out next to. And then, I mean, even in your world, ride in one of the top 10 quickest cars at the event and one of the probably top 5 quickest cars on a little tire at the event. You're in that creme de la creme kind of world with that dude. And I feel like it's cool to be able to rub elbows with you and with Elena.
God. And I'm an idiot. She's a rock
star. I'm trying to get him to sign my shirt.
Right. You need to.
Yeah.
You need to. And I need to meet Donna. I've never met Donna before. So, I mean, why are you hiding her from the rest of us? I don't understand.
Nobody to steal her away.
You know, I just flaunt my fiance in front of everybody. And I'm like, look, she's with me.
Yeah, I know. She's next to me right now.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all, yeah. You look great.
Oh, be
honey,
cool. Yeah.
Darling. It'd be cool. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yeah. She was talking about the gas station roller taquitos. That's Stevie. That's my lady right there.
Oh yeah.
I got her on a breakfast taquito on Rocky Mountain Race Week, and she's like, "Are these good?" And I'm like, It's hot and it's fresh. I mean, it's hot and it's ready. I mean, whatever." And she ate it, and she was like, "Okay, not ever gonna do that again, especially on like day 3."
I call Elena. She's 105 pounds of Bubba. What did we have to go to Sam's Club and buy, Bubba?
We got Slim Jims and iced honey buns, and he was giving them away like he's Oprah.
Right. Like, you get a Slim Jim. Stevie loves Slim Jims. Stevie is and I make jerky before Drag and Drive. I'll make a 3-pound roast, and I'll slice it real thin into jerky. And we were hammering jerky because it was 109,000 degrees, and you need salt to be able to sweat. So I was like, "Here, have jerky, everybody." You and Stevie might be like besties, and then you just never even knew it. Like, you guys should maybe party. Like, Alan and I will be besties. Elena and Stevie will be besties. I mean, it's gonna be great. We're gonna party.
I want to do Rocky Mount Race Week. I just think it'd be just a wonderful journey to see everybody. I don't know Matt Frost. I seen him at one of the races, and he was having some mechanical problems with the blower, so we didn't.
Yeah, he blew that blower up at Drag Week.
It was bad. Yeah.
22 or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
So
next year is Mega Week. We're doing 2 on the same day. So we typically do the 2 events, one in June, one in September. We're doing them both in June. We're going to run one in the morning, one in the afternoon. So we have an 8 to 3 and then a 3 to 11. So the 8 to 3 guys will get on the road and they'll stay at hotels at the next track. The 3 to 11 people will race that night, stay at hotels at the first track, and we'll be on the same route so we'll be at each track splitting in the middle of the day. And then the last day we do a shootout. So we heads up race people. We turn the time clocks off. No one gets slips. So it's just a win light. And typically we do the quickest 32 cars. We're going to mix both races and do the quickest 64 cars.
Yeah.
And then we're going to bracket race everyone that's not 65 and slower is going to be like a 400 car bracket race racing for $5,000. It's going to be insane, but the quickest class is going to be the quickest 16 cars racing for $15,000. And it's a heads up race. 4/10 Pro Tree, no slip, no time, win lights only. So you got to be able to cut a light.
I'm coming for you, Goldstone. I'm coming for you, you big floppy tires and wheelie bars.
Hell yeah. And we, like I told you, an 850 car won that class for $7,500 this 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Goldstone, unfortunately, first round got taken out by a small block, nitrous, small tire Fox Mustang.
I know. That's why I'm picking on him. I love. He's
It's great. I mean, he, 6-second average, but that's why you jumble it all up. And it's
Yeah.
not based on your average; it's based on your quickest one pass.
right.
So if you have a bad day and you have to turn in a 20, no big deal. We take your quickest pass, and that's what you qualify with
Wow.
in your shootout. So next year, instead of losing some internet, are we back? Hey, we're back. There we go. So quickest 16 racing for $15,000, 17 to 32. No, I'm sorry, 17 to 60, whatever. Racing for $5,000. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a 600 car shootout. It's going to be absolutely insane.
That'd be great. Yeah, and let's talk about Goldstone. I mean,
dude,
he's a monster, and he said something to me about going to Rocky Mountain. I said, I don't know, give me a holler. Hell, I'll crew chief for you. I'll pit crew. The heat don't bother me, and I'm not scared to work on a Javelin. I love his car, and the cool thing about Bryant is, he's had that car, 36, 37, 38 years too. It was his high school car. I mean, and the misfortune and the crap that he went through when that car, went on its lid and then the door blew off at Indy. And I admire him for how hard he works, and he never gives up. And you know what? The guy goes out and we are at an amazing time in drag racing.
Dude, this is the golden years now.
Okay, let's talk about Alex Taylor. You can't find a better person to represent drag racing. Mm-hmm. She's sweet as can be. She's a beautiful young lady. She's talented. She's smart
hell.
And we need her in the drag racing community. And more sponsors, pay attention. Wherever you work, pin a picture up of Alex Taylor and tell your company to go out and sponsor her. Get that 55 on every national TV show. Get her. I mean, she's a great thing for drag racing. You've got Clay McClellan. I mean, that runs around and he starts getting involved in this. Here's the deal. Put him in a green Monte. I mean, he thinks he can run a top fuel car. Have him pit crew for
Milliken. Clay Milliken.
Yeah. Have him come pit crew for me. I'll put him to work. He's not, that top fuel stuff's easy.
He's got a drag and drive car.
I know, but he won't bring it out. He won't bring it out. Yeah.
Well, and maybe companies can start sponsoring Elena because she's going to need a car.
People are trying to talk me into it.
So, now that she's ruined, and then Donna's going to need a car because she's ruined.
Beer.
Yeah.
No, if she wants a car, I'll build her a car. But the thing is you've got, okay, let's knock it down. Everybody talks about it, so I'll bring it up. I'll start the crap. Doug Cook, Motion Race Work. We start off, him and I do 200-mile-an-hour passes side by side. I mean, if I would have had my engine blow up and kill a busload of nuns, that SMX is still the baddest son of a gun ever made. Steve's a genius. Motion Raceworks without Doug Cook. I mean, start spinning. I'm going to badmouth Summit, okay? No, not Summit helps us. They're great to us. Jegs, we need them at a drag and drive. Corporations own them. It's not Jake.
Yeah, it's a big VC owned deal now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you got Doug Cook, right? And he sponsors billboards. He's at the track. I have a sensor that goes bad. I have Brent come over and go, what sensor went bad? Well, here it is. Well, is it a Holly or is it a Rife? Does it matter? He walks me over a sensor and says, there it is. I'm like, well, let me go back and get it paid for. Them boys wasn't worried about that. They was worried about me having a proper boost controller and not hurting my engine.
Right.
And then I was able to go back and settle up with the sensor. And the thing is we've had Holly there, and they're a big conglomerate, but they do,
they put their money where their mouth is. They help with a bunch of this stuff.
Motion Race Works is at the races. Doug Cook is available. I mean, he's got a little 16-year-old kid driving El Toro running in the forest, folks. I mean, proof's in the pudding.
Right.
Brent running, 399. I want to see him and Devin battle it out.
Bad. Bad. A big block and a Coyote, both in Fox Mustangs. Brent's is a S197, but
right.
Both in Mustangs. It'll be. Yes, I'm with you. That needs to happen.
And Devin's got his car tore apart, so when he gets it back together, I'm going to make a statement. It's going to be the baddest drive and drag car you've ever seen. He'll put that sucker in the 3s on small tires. I want to hang a set of wheelie bars just off the back, just dragging and bouncing behind. That way it makes the big tire guys like Goldstone feel a little bit better.
Feel a little better about their program, right?
Maybe,
right.
Let the parachutes get tangled up in them and the TBM brakes still stop it in time, just to be a jerk.
Right, just because that's how you roll.
Yeah, no, but you got to look at who we have in the community now and the people that is spending money back in the drag and drive community.
I say that all the time. Like, none of this happens without sponsors. And man, I may read sponsor names 100 times, and I may tell you about whatever little sponsor 100 times. But like, you got to know that race doesn't happen without that sponsor. Like, that dude, that person, that company put in that money for that race to make its way happen. Like, and that's with a lot of other people's programs as well. I mean, you can't do it without them. And here's
the thing too. We're spending a lot of time and a lot of money on the cars, and money's easy to come up with when you think about it. Everybody's like, well, I'm going to go cheap. No, don't go cheap. Put in some overtime, get a second job, buy quality stuff from quality people. I'm going to give you, like I said, I'm going to just bang it out. So, all right, here's a Wilson throttle body, right? Beautiful Wilson throttle body, polished, big money, right? It's third time rebuilding the bushings in it. I've had it come with it, come on my SMX. I'm tired of the rattling. I'm tired of the throttle blade sticking. So I called Wilson. I'm like, hey, why is the bushings going out for the third time? You know what they told me? What type of boost are you making? I said, well, most we've ever made is 32 pounds in a 4,200-pound car, and we went 698 burping it. And they're like, well, now we got a high boost throttle body, and they're $1,335, and they only come in black. Looks like silver to me, but okay. I said, well, can't you just sell me bushings? No, you got to have. All right, so sorry, Wilson. Guess what that is?
It's
Motion Works on, right? People don't want to hear this shit because I'll just say it, and if it hurts me, I don't care. So they tell me the new ones from Wilson are good for 100 pounds of boost. So I call Motion. Actually, I called Steve Morris. I said, hey, Steve, what's the deal? He's like, yeah, well, we ran the big boosted ones. Doug Cook owns, Motion and Icons and the 102s. And so I call Motion Raceworks. I hit number 2. I get their tech line on the phone, and Levi answers the phone. Was the gentleman's name. Let me give you another deal. That's TIG welded, right? See them screws that don't come?
They TIG weld the screws right on there.
The other one, I'm Loctiting the shit out of them. They're not TIG welded. All right. So the holes don't match up on the adapter plate. So I called Billy Glidden. I'm like, hey, can I go to the race car shop and machine them out? He's like, heck, I'll run and do it for you, because they don't quite match up the same. So that's what Billy was doing for me today. I said, hey, did you have this trouble? He said, yeah, when we ran Harry Reska's car, they would fall apart and hang the throttle blades open. I'm not wrecking my car because the throttle blade hangs open. I call Motion. Levi's like, oh, yeah, you're good. I said, well, how much boost can I run through it? He's like, oh, we got guys running 80, 90 pounds of boost through them.
That should do it.
Guess what? Oh, Alan, I don't get them for free. I bought them. But I'm going to spend my money where it's quality parts, it's quality machined, and I can call a tech line and not get a bullshit story and not have to spend another $1,035. And looky there. they have roller bearings in them and they're not coming out. So I love Doug Cook because he's an American boy and he does his homework. And if I ask him a question, he don't lie to me. And I'm nobody special. Just because I got some old green Monte Carlo and I know a lot of people, I spend my money on smart things because look at that. I just gave myself a blood blister because I do dumb shit.
Yeah,
And
it happens. I mean, look at my thumb. This is
Yeah.
weeks.
hit it with a hammer, do you?
Yeah, just like here, look, this is pow. Great. Awesome. I get to live with that for months. It's awesome.
But the thing is I'm not saying that, motion is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm saying is they do testing. They have drag and drive cars. They have testers, and there's a lot of good small companies out there. I just got a Mark Payne starter that Devin told me to put on my car, and that thing is built. It's a $475 starter. Well, when you've got $1,000 flight bill on your car.
Right. And when you do this, you want it to do the thing.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to be in the staging lanes. Or here's the worst thing. I don't want Donna or my daughter in the car and I do something goofy and I can't get the car started and I get them ran over or killed, or I'm a nuisance to somebody else at the drag strip. And the other thing too is a lot of people are like, well, just get your car out and race it. Get your car out and practice it. I don't care if you go to Mile Per Hour Mayhem and start watching my videos, and I don't care if 5 people do it, but I'll teach you how to drive a race car and how not to get somebody killed. Just like my last one was just reach up and shut the ignition off. Nobody that I know practice just reaching up and shutting the ignition off. Sit in the car and keep throwing the parachutes. I mean, how many times have you guys packed the parachutes? The main thing is on Elena and Donna is we'll just sit here and eject the parachutes for a day where they'll practice packing the parachutes because they love me and they don't want me getting hurt, or my life insurance hadn't been paid up.
Right. You haven't paid the premium yet. But
yeah, that might be it. But the thing is it doesn't matter how much time or money you have in these cars. You have a family at home. The other thing is you need to start punching people in the mouth when they run methanol and you're in the staging lanes and you look up and they got the tags in for the fire suppression system.
Right.
If you just walk up and hit them with that, have them open the helmet, poke them in the eyes or something, but yank the tags out and don't give them back to them. With my daughter in the car driving around, we didn't even put the tags back in the car for the full week because if we get in an accident and there's methanol in the car and it ruptures and we don't know what's on fire, she can pull the suppression systems.
Right,
so
may as well.
The safety attributes of these race cars are there for a reason. It's because somebody got hurt. Look at John Force. You're probably not going to have any safer of a car than his cars that they build in shop. The other thing is everybody needs to quit driving around with the halo without having some kind of padding on the street. You have a helmet and you have a Hans device. There they are. And then you can see on each side that there's padding, top, bottom, and all the way around. So if I get plowed in the side, I don't get my head busted open. We're going to add padding over on the passenger side for Donna or Elena. That way, if we get drilled and their head goes over, it's a piece of pipe. So
right.
When you're sitting in the garage and you're having a beer, your buddies are around or the wives come out, get in the car and see what's the safest thing that you can do for the people riding in the car with you, because these road cage are they're a pipe. They're 4130 chromoly. They're mild steel. You wouldn't want hitting the head with them. And we're driving these on the street a lot. And who had the misfortunate accident in the Camaro?
Matt and Bob Coding.
How are they?
Last I knew, Bob was still in the hospital. Matt was out and doing well, but it was, they had just gotten gas and didn't put on seatbelts.
Oh, no.
they were just a couple of miles away from the gas station and just sort of, one of these run,
In a hurry.
yeah,
Just
in a hurry, gets
Uh,
tossed in the back, and unfortunately, that's when stuff happens. And had a SUV do a U-turn at that, like right in front of them at highway speed, and just no stopping. And Bob is 75, and Matt's I think maybe in his late 40s. But Bob crushed his ankle real bad, and he was dealing with a lot of concussion stuff. It would surprise me if he wasn't out of the hospital yet. At this point, he was making good strides, but at 75, to have to deal with that exactly, and but it was exactly that. They ran into the roll cage, and it was like getting hit with a pipe. So, bad deal.
And the other thing is when you're building your car and you're wiring it, first of all, take it to Devin and have Devin wire it. It's the best money spent. The other thing
you won't
is,
burn it down.
I told Jason Sachs, I talked to him last week. I said, well, what you can do, I said, Andy's wiring your car. Andy's a good dude. I said, have your wiring guy buy a size 15 shoe. I don't care if he's got a size 9. Put the size 15 shoe in, get in the car, stomp around like Ronald McDonald because we're tired. Our co-pilot's going to get in. They're going to drag their feet.
Smart.
Start thinking about what you're going to destroy going down the road. I've seen a lot of cars that's had wiring problems just because the co-pilot falls asleep or kicks their feet and they get hot, and put the little thin insulation bubble under the mat for the co-pilot. These cars are, some of them are running the ragged airs. They're just so fast, and we worry about a tenth of a second that we don't take the time to make the creature comforts a little bit safer or better for our co-pilots, our daughters or our wives or whatever in the car.
Yeah, exactly. People that, you care about, you would hope.
Yeah. Or, we got healthy insurance policies on, stuff like that.
Either way, whatever. All right. We've gotten to the point of the show. It's an hour and 20 minutes. Like, it goes quick. It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I start asking questions. Folks on the comments, you can start asking questions as well. Throw those up there, and we'll get those answered as well. Anything you want to know about? No air conditioning, Jason. No, sir. No air conditioning in Greenie, not yet.
I'm 55. I'm a man. I don't need AC. I mean, if I start going through the sex change, I'll probably put vent windows in.
What do you mean start? I was sure you had been.
Most people start with the boobs, but I'm going to do something different.
I heard that about you. Yeah, but implants.
No,
you want the hips.
I probably should have done AC, but I'm old school. I'm kind of an idiot. So no, if you can fit, honestly, if you can fit AC on the car and you're building a drag and drive car, my suggestion is do it. Whatever makes you comfortable on the drives. Because here's the thing: get these cars out and drive them and enjoy it. Because I love my car. I was sitting in it, buckled up, helmet on, and a guy come up and he's like, how in the hell do you sit in the staging lanes for 20 and 30 minutes and you've got your helmet on, your visor closed? I said, I love my car. He's like, dude, I hate sitting in my car. I said, well,
get another car.
I said, you built the wrong car. I said, you're not comfortable sitting in the car? He's like, hell no. I go, you need to sell that or revamp it where you enjoy sitting in the staging lanes. He goes, I never heard that before. I go, why are you drag racing?
Right.
You don't enjoy your car and you don't enjoy sitting in it. And if you want to run AC, that's fine. The only thing I ask is don't do it in the staging lanes and drag the water up to the starting line, get somebody hurt.
Yeah. Jerk.
On the drive, run that AC, enjoy it if you can do it.
So this will be for everyone, I guess, because I got everyone. So Donna, Elena, and Alan. Tell me about the one that got away. What cards you sell you should have sold.
I've never sold a car.
That seems to be a thing. That's a thing.
There's my dad's 57 Corvette that he bought when he was 27 years old. And oh yeah, there's your. I need to sell my dad's boat. It's a '66. I'll tell you what. I'll give you. Yeah, I'll give you a tour. We've got issues here in the Whitaker family. There's this factory sticker still on the window from '66. Still has the plastic on the inside. There's the first launch permit sticker. I mean, we've got issues. We don't sell things. I had a 4-speed 70 Monte Carlo that was one of 2011 made. I did sell it because it was roached. I probably should have kept that car. That I drove a 60 Valiant to school.
That's
Typewriter
cool.
transmission, slant 6. So you throw a brick on it, come back at noon, it's still flat out and warmed up. I drove a 68 Ford. My dad loved cars, had a lot of cars. So we had a 64 Galaxy 500. We had
It's a great car.
Ford Fairlane. We had 73 Cadillac, 70 Cadillac, 66 Cadillac, 66 Lincoln Continentals. I mean, my dad had a lot of cool cars. Corvettes out the butt. Chevelles, had a 69 Chevelle. We've had an eclectic. My dad had a lot of cars. I've had a lot of cars, but the one that probably got away. I was fortunate growing up. My dad owned a pool hall, so all the guys come in and say, "Man, I wish I'd have never sold that car." You know, it's so I was.
You just listened to him.
Yeah, I didn't. I love my green Monte Carlo. I've wanted it since I was 11, so I've never really sold any car that I've ever not wanted. What about you, Elena? Any car you wish you'd have?
I mean, I want a Camaro eventually, but I haven't had it and sold it yet. So.
Daggone.
Well, now you got to buy one and sell it, and then you can want to get it back forever.
And yes, that is a Sputnik ball up there.
Good.
Ed
Good.
Hohenberg.
Good eye.
Yeah, Ed Hohenberg.
Yeah, Clint and his Camaros and Jazzy causing all this trouble. Jeez, thanks.
Is that what you want, Elena? You want a first gen?
I'm not certain yet. Haven't looked too deep into it yet.
All right.
I just enjoy working on Greenie, and I don't want to have a car and then it take away, because right now I get to work with him and ride with him and stuff. If I have my own car, I can't do that as much. I'll be focused on mine and he'll be focused
Your own stuff, right?
So I don't want to take away from that, this quality time.
Maybe Clint and I ride together and we throw Jazzy and Elena together and we talk smack to them the whole time.
Yeah, and his wife and Donna can get together. I mean,
no, man, come on. What are you throwing? Him and I
Yeah.
never have any money. Come on, don't have like. Oh.
He's already talked about mozzarella sticks in the comments. So
yeah, that's Stevie. Stevie loves mozzarella sticks.
we're friends now.
Yeah, yep. She is a mozzarella sticks fan for sure. There's a bar in Lingle, Wyoming that's halfway between where my house is and her house was or is now. And when we started long distance dating during COVID, and that was the halfway point, was this little bar called Bitches, and it's in Lingle, Wyoming, and it used to be the county morgue, and they have amazing mozzarella sticks, and it's exactly halfway.
What
So-
would she lose a bet? Why'd she start dating you, or is she bad?
I mean, I'm almost certain that she's blind and stupid. So but I just keep rolling. No, and actually, I think it's the relationship that Dragon Drive built, because I was trying to secretly get her to go on Rocky Mountain Race Week with me, because, I mean, who wouldn't, fall in love with me on Rocky Mountain Race Week, right? I mean, farts and chili cheese dogs and Funyuns and, I mean, it's going to happen. And I kept telling her, I've got the stick shift Cadillac. You need to come out with me. And she's like, I don't. And she grew up in a drag racing family, and they drag race. They bracket race, drag race. And she's just like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Whatever. I'll go with you though. And so we did. And click, bam, here we are. Like it's the way. It's for sure the way. Like the relationship that Drag and Drive built.
He keeps her drugged, people. That's just
It's pretty much it. Yeah, she doesn't. Yeah. Does it smell like chloroform to you?
Good night, baby. Good night.
Oh
All right.
man.
Car that got away you want.
I don't really I would like a fast car eventually, but not one to race.
Damn.
You know, maybe a fast Corvette.
Okay. We'll buy her a new Corvette. It's easier that way.
Yeah, and those are like turnkey, like they run 12s. That'd be awesome. Like,
I didn't say I wanted to race.
Oh, okay.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Take care of you.
That's right.
that's true. That's a full-time job, and you're a saint for it.
Starting this racing thing, he said, I just need you to make sandwiches and pack some food. My nails and greasy clothes say different, but that's okay.
But
I would not have just sat back and made sandwiches anyway.
Right. That's not the deal.
No,
It's not the deal.
who I am.
Tell me your favorite racetrack.
Norwalk.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That track is beautiful, and they have fantastic ice cream.
The $1 ice cream is
Well, it's
$3
now,
now.
but it's
$3 now.
$3.
Yeah, for a pint. Yeah, Norwalk is just a wonderful track where you can tell that the owner, Bill Bader, loved his track and he took pride in it. And he walked around and picked up cigarette butts. I mean, if every track owner and NHRA and IHRA would give 10% of what that man gave for his track in Karen and pride. And then the other thing is, as racers, we have to go pick up trash. If there's
you make a ton of trash.
Well, if there's a bottle blowing through, pick it up. If you go in the restroom, reach over and flush the toilet. Quit being a pig. I'm tired of hearing the other racers go, oh man, the bathroom's nasty. Well, who the hell's using it? You went in there. So if you're leaving it in worse shape than when you went in, you're part of the problem.
You're the problem there, pal. Right.
So, even on your home tracks, my home track, I grew up, a lot of people know it as War in the Woods. Great guy owns War of the Woods. Jeff Thomas bought it now, and I'm so happy he owned it. And Junior Patrick, Javier Mendoza, some Whiteland boys, where we're at now, Whiteland, Indiana, owned the track and bought it off the family that owned it for years. That's where I grew up drag racing. We all turned 16 and, Mike Harris and we went down there drag racing and it started at what now is known as War in the Woods, and Jeff had a spectacular race. And if nobody's ever watched that race, tune in and watch it. If you've never been, man, that is a spectacle of a show. It is a blast to go to. And the other main thing is get off your computer, drive an hour, take your girlfriend, take your kids, go to a racetrack, go out and start asking questions, about cars. Say, hey, I've never been to a drag strip, explain it to me. Most racers will be happy to tell you about their car and explain drag racing to you, and let a kid sit in the car. And it is a family event. That's the amount of love that goes into it. We all started with the love of cars or speed, and then it just grows and manifests from there.
And I always tell people, once you do a drag and drive your car to the racetrack. Like, go prove it to people. Like, bring your crap out in drag and drive form and drive it 2.5 or 3 or 4 hours to a track that's you're not from. Yeah. And drive that crap through the front gate. And even if it's a 16-second ride, like, people are going to be coming up and going, dude, you've got a sick summer or a sick week or a Rocky Mountain Race Week or a drag week banner on your car. Like, tell me about that. Like, tell me about your trailer. Tell me about what you drove this year. Like, I got more head turns in my 11-second car I drove to Grand Junction, Colorado, which is 4 hours over the mountain from Denver. And it drove in with this, and these people are just like, wait, you drove this here? And it runs what? And it got what like it got fuel mileage. Like what the hell is this, dude? Like what are you doing? And when you bring that into that new area in these different tracks, and you start setting those hooks in these people, and then you start ruining people. And like I said, I love just ruining people. It's like the best thing. It's the best part of my week ever is talking to these people who like at the drivers meeting have no idea. They have zero clue. And like day 2, they're done. They're totally done because they're as far as they've ever been from their truck and trailer, probably.
Yeah.
And they're on their own, but they're in this group of these people that they've never been part of. And it's such a cool thing. And yes, it's awesome.
What was your other question?
Elena, what's your favorite track? Is it also Norwalk?
Yeah, probably. I mean, as far as the track staff go, there isn't really a track we've been to where they didn't go out of their way to make sure that the track, was prepped properly for us and the trash was picked up. And we've always been very grateful, the attention to detail that, all the tracks we've been to, that the staff, all the hard work they go through, no matter if it's, 100 degrees outside, they're always making sure that the water box is done well, so there's a good burnout, and we're just very grateful for all of them.
And then I've taught the girls to walk up how to read a track. There's another thing to do. Is it doesn't matter what type of tire you're on, what type of suspension you have. If you do not know what to look for at a racetrack, go talk to one of the veterans. Go talk to your local guy that's winning every race. Go talk to Devin Vanderhoof. Walk the track. When you go to a drag strip, my best advice to you in the morning, get your stuff unpacked, start getting your program. What's the first thing I do, girls? We go and we walk the track. We'll walk up the driver's side and walk down the passenger side. Then I know what the track looks like, where the turnoff is, where the ET booth is, where the scales are. And if you don't have enough time to walk the track, you need to be asking somebody, does it exit left or right? How long is the shutdown? Know your local track. Know how long a shutdown that you have. I'm late getting my chutes out. I throw my chutes out. My phone dings. I make the turnoff. I look. It's Billy Glidden going, hey, how about throwing the chutes out a little bit earlier, dumbass?
Right.
I mean, I've got a lot of people that look out for me when I do something stupid. They hold my feet to the fire because you get lazy, you get complacent.
You get complacent is the word.
And you get where it's like, oh, it ran 200 mile an hour. I'm comfortable in the car because the car's not out doing something stupid. The other thing, I'll teach you guys real quick, and I'm going to do a video on it. Lay your arm, here we go, the video. Lay your arm in the roll cage in the window net and hold that steering wheel loosely. Okay? And what I was taught in the 80s by Bob Glidden, he says, if you have to pick that arm up to turn that wheel, if you can't adjust that wheel with your wrist, abort the pass.
You're done, right?
I see a lot of guys in a lot of fast cars, elbows and assholes trying to steer the car. This is why you're wrecking the car. If you abort a pass in a drag and drive, do you know what you have to do? Nothing. Drive it right back around to the lanes. I don't care if you're A class, B class, C class, D class. It's worth the wait of 2 or 3 hours to make another pass instead of loading it on the rollback.
Yeah, wadding your crap up.
Yeah. Why wreck your car just because you think you can drive it out of it? Abort the pass. Elena had a guy come to her at the start line. Well, why'd Alan abort the pass? She goes, he likes his car.
You can make another pass, so it doesn't make sense to just go full-fledged. And if you feel the tire's kicking out from under you, why keep giving it gas? I don't have anything to prove to anybody. I love my car. I enjoy racing. And 6-second pass or 720s. It don't. Okay, I'm going to pick on Clint for a second. Clint's went 720s. You know what Clint has?
He has a 6-second Camaro.
Yes, he does.
Jason Sachs went 701 in his Nova, Cowboy Up Nova. You know what he has? He has a 6-second Nova. He's just not dumb enough to put it on that ragged edge.
Right.
Just because it's 701 or 680s or 6, it doesn't matter. Goldstone went out there, right? Okay. And he's made killer fast 40 passes. And
yeah,
then,
he went like 640 at 6'7".
right. And then he goes and he makes a 680 pass. And I was like, well, what's the matter? He didn't want to wreck his stuff on a greasy track at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Right. While he holds a big lead.
Yeah, it's called being intelligent. So we win a trophy, or here. This don't mean anything, right there. If you wreck your car, right? Here's what means everything. Right there, the helmet. I want to see my daughter. I want to see my fiance. I want to see my friends. I don't want to see somebody tear something up just because they've got to be a hero and think
that once they've already lost the past, they can get it back and still put a number up. You're never going to put the number up you want.
No, and the thing is, it's just a number. The thing is I'm proud of my friends when they let off and save a pass and then come back around, and I'll go over and I'm like, man, you ran through some oil or water. Let's check it out. And you learn something, and you only learn by your mistakes. So just make smarter mistakes every year.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go quicker every year, and then your mistakes mean more.
Exactly right. What's your other questions?
I've got plenty. I've got lots. We're rocking through them. I know the answer to this one, but this will be a why for you. But trailer or no trailer?
I actually looked really hard at this. Trailer. I'm able to carry an extra cylinder head. I'm able to carry a lot of extra parts. I have a lot of people that come to me and I give them parts. I don't like, okay, well, I gave you a U-joint. Richard Gudo gave Clark and me a U-joint, and I put it in Clark's car when he had trouble. I think Clark still owes Richard a U-joint, so
probably
I'm going to have to stay on Clark's ass about that because
But yeah, I mean, there's not very many 481 parts just scattered, peppered along a route typically. So I mean, you've got to carry what you need to fix your crap. So a trailer makes a lot of sense, especially at your level.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter my level if I ran 16 seconds. The thing is, I take extra parts, and then I don't mind loaning them to people. Devin has lured, the sensors. I'm on him. I'm like, that's a $350 sensor, Devin. You might want to charge him for that. So even Laura's like, hey, quit giving away, a crank sensor. Them are expensive.
Right, those are expensive. What are you doing, man?
Right. But the thing is we've all taken a bite of that crap sandwich, and we know what it's like to need something. So I probably carry way too much stuff that the girls help me. But
if it's in the trailer, you don't have to handle it every day.
I don't have to handle it. And then we're always
you're not fondling it.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah. So I like having a trailer. If I had a pickup, no way would I pull a trailer. I'd have
hell no.
Organized.
Here's the one I give you a heads up on.
Yeah.
Favorite drag and drive car that's not yours. And this is for everybody.
Go, Elena.
I'd say Devin Vanderhoof's convertible Mustang.
Rolling in the 5.0 with the rag top down so my hair can blow.
Yeah.
Who's cooler than Vanilla Ice?
A1A.
It's such a fast and cool car, and even though he has, those times and stuff, he's still always trying to make it better. I mean, he's taking it apart right now and trying to make it even faster than it was.
Didn't he take it all apart and take all the coating off and everything, and it saved 4 pounds or 5 pounds or something ridiculous?
Well, the rockers are full of sand or powder blast. So, he only picked up a 588-pound chassis and tore his bicep.
Right.
Not that he's a gorilla, but he's a silverback gorilla. So yeah, he's a monster.
No, that's a super good answer for sure. And he's a nice dude.
What do you say? What car would you like if you could drive a drag and drive car, honey?
I like Dave Schroeder's and I like Jason Sachs and I love Devon's too, of course.
Yeah. Dave
I mean,
Schroeder.
there's several I'd like to
Yeah, Dave Schroeder's
at
vet.
least fit in.
Dave Schroeder's old vet or his new vet? His C7 or his old school one?
I've seen them both. I think I like his old one a little bit better, but that won't be coming out again. So
Right.
I
agree.
We'll be at Michigan. We'll get to see Dave and John, which those guys are true gentlemen. So maybe I can talk to Dave and he'll let her sit in the passenger side. I don't know. John probably get angry if she gets in there. He's kind of
Yeah.
it might not fit.
Yeah. She might not fit with that big old gorilla.
Well, and of course, I mean, who doesn't like the shaggin' wagon? Steve Morris's.
Yeah.
I had one of those when I was little.
Yeah.
Rode in the very back.
And he lives the life because his street one's the same thing. It's the Buick.
Pearl.
4 of them.
Oh, he has 4 now. That's right.
So Kyle just
Yeah.
gold flaked one of them. They got Pearl that they picked up when we was in Florida. I had more fun riding with Steve and a bunch of them yo-yos when we went
Yo-yos, indeed.
and Pearl. Oh my God, they're a mess.
And what's funny, I was just shits and grins looking those up. Those have a 5,000 pound tow rating.
I know.
You could, with an open trailer and a lighter car, could tow like his Fox Mustang on an open trailer to a racetrack, or a Devon's Fox Mustang with the back, on the back of that Buick. That would be.
You could put them on top of Steve's car.
It would be insane.
Well, and we gotta say to Devin, it must be nice having such a great car.
It must be nice.
It must be nice,
It
Devin.
must be nice.
Must be nice.
Yes, it must be nice.
Yeah, there we go. It's on the pin right there.
That's right. Mustbenice.org. Must be nice.
I would say Jason Sachs. Just his attention to detail. I like polish, pretty stuff. Jason's putting a Steve Morris engine in. It's a SML, which is
The
LS base thing.
Yep.
So, I think Jason's going to go out and run real fast. And if he can't handle the speed, then what I'll do is, drive it for him because, he's kind of.
because Elena will be driving yours.
Yeah,
So
because Jason insists.
ride.
Oh, God. I'll get a text in a little bit. I'm putting you in the headlock. But no, there's so many cars out there. I think probably one of the king is if I could drive any of the cars, I think I'd like to drive Tom Bailey's and show him that it'd go 575 and not 577. I think it's just driver errors why he can't get it down track.
I mean, it's because he keeps popping the fire suppressant in his face.
Yeah, it's just bad driving on Tom Bailey's part.
He's
And
just
I know
chicken footing it.
Yeah, I know he's out of the country getting married right now, so I can talk a lot of shit and he can answer in. So.
Yeah, he has no idea what's going down right now.
So next week I'll be getting evil texts. So
Yep.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
no, there's so many cars to choose from, and then the other thing I think would want to be one of the funnest cars to drive would be a 15 or 16 second car.
Oh yeah.
I think we lose track of. We get lost in numbers. Everyone's like, oh, I want to see that car make a 6-second pass. It's like, I want to see that 850 class run an 850 with an O. I want to see him knock the tree down with the 000 light. I mean,
Right.
that is those guys. I just enjoy drag race. Oh, there's my old car in 99 with a Billy Glidden 530 cubic inch engine on. We started the radio drag class, BF Goodrich's. That was the good old days in 99. That was called Factory Street. We destroyed that class.
That was NMCA.
That was NMCA. We destroyed that class. It was bad. Tony Perez was one of my competitors. Bruce Spires, Don Pennington, Mike McConnell. I get to still talk to some of those guys. We were dumbasses. We were bad fast on a piece of shit tire. We were
that early VFG tire was.
We were soaking them in Cosaline. We were putting traction. I'd do a burnout and shit would turn green because we was putting so much stuff on the tire trying to make it soft. I remember I was the very first lockup transmission. Some guy out of Canada built these lockup power glides. They were like $11,000 back in '99. We put one in the car, and they were a Chrysler minivan, little solenoid, and we get the tranny fluid so hot it'd melt the plastic ball, and we go out there and lock it up, and it'd lug the engine down. It'd sound like a 3-speed with a power glide in it. So, just early days. That's how I met Jason Moulton from Mickey Thompson. We're out at Billy's race car shop. And Billy goes, God, these tires suck. I said, oh yeah, they're horrendous. So we called Mickey Thompson, and Jason Moulton's on the tech line, and Billy goes, you guys want to build us some radio tires? And Jason goes, yeah, I think that's a good idea. And so that was in '99. So that's how the relationship between myself and Jason and Billy Glidden started off, and ET Streets and radio drag tires developed was because of some stupid phone call to some crazy kid in Ohio. And years later, now Jason's at the track mounting up tires, and he's a wealth of knowledge. And I'll give you a hint. People talk about tire testing, and I hate to keep saying Billy Glidden, but on tire development of the Bubba and the little Bubba tires, how smart Billy is.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Jason sometime how many passes Billy had on a Pro Mod car. There's 14,000 passes in tire testing.
Wow.
Well, when somebody says, well, how many, did you really test much? I'm like, you have no idea. Oh, you went and tire tested. You made 3 passes. Good luck.
Right.
We'd go tire test and there'd be 60 passes. You'd make 60 foot and back it up. And then, some tires don't recognize a pound difference of, about, well, I'm going to drop a 1/4 pound. It don't know a 1/2 pound. It don't know a pound. So, whoever's tire you're running, talk to the companies and ask people that have done it for years and years, and then make sure that you're getting valid information on this stuff. And, talk to the fast guys that are making passes day in and day out and what they're doing.
That's a great segue to my last question. And if you're watching the comments and you want to ask one more, pop it in there. But this pertains to all 3 of you as well. But let's start with Donna. As a co-pilot, that's kind of your wealth of information at the moment is co-piloting for someone you give a crap about, and Elena is in that same kind of world. What advice do you have to a newbie? Some idiot husband goes and asks his idiot fiance, "Do you want to sit in the car with me for a week?" What advice do you have to that lady getting asked that question?
Be prepared to be tired. Have fun. You're going to sweat. Your hair's going to look terrible. And it doesn't matter. You're together and having fun. We had a lot of good talks in the car because we have a lot of time.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aw, cute.
There isn't much room.
No, you're living in a 40 square foot apartment for a week, and your hotel room is 100 square feet. It's twice, 3 times the size of the car, and that's it. Your only escape is still only 100 square feet, and like you do have a door that closes with a bathroom, which is great, but that's like the only advantage you get to being in the hotel room over the car. But what about you, Elaine? Same deal. Idiot dad asked idiot kid, hey, do you want to go drive in a car with me and smell my farts for a week? And by the way, it pays $0, and I'm going to keep you up for 2 nights in a row putting pistons in my car. What advice do you have to someone taking their summer vacation from college with their old man?
I'd probably say to always pay attention. While this is fun in the community. It's all fun to hang out with everybody and spend time with your dad and whoever it is. But this is also a dangerous sport at the same time. You have to be on your toes and don't get distracted. He is a very big talker if you haven't gotten that.
You don't say.
And he's a little shy, but
He's not little anything.
but so he'll get distracted while he's working on the car, and so you always got to kind of follow around and make sure that he is doing what he needs to do and that we're doing what we need to do, because it's so easy to get distracted and do something wrong, and it can hurt the car or him while he's making passes. And so I think it's most important to pay attention.
Nice. And Alan, advice for newbies in whatever fashion. You want to build a 6-second streetcar, you want to bring your idiot family with you. What advice do you have someone starting doing something that you're doing?
Don't be a jerk. Be humble. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get caught up in a number. Oh, I went 14s. I got to run 13.99. Overbuild the car. If you're putting a cage in it, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, I want to update my cage. I don't want to put a funny car cage in. Put a funny car cage in it. Put the padding on it. And the engine's a bullet. It's replaceable. If my SMX blows up and kills a busload of nuns, it's still the best engine I've ever had in a vehicle. Transmissions are going to break. I run Rossler. I run a Cameron torque converter in it, and Cameron nailed it, and it's a bad torque converter. If it falls out, blows up, kills a busload of nuns, Rossler transmissions is the way to go. Spend the money the first time. I run Indy gear. I have Wayne. He's 71 years old. He's built rear ends his whole life. He does all the pro stocks. I mean, if you go into Wayne's place and it's, you've got Elite dropping off 38 Lazarus $10,000 hog heads at a time. There's $250,000 to $500,000 hog heads sitting there. Find out who knows what they're doing. Follow their lead, save your money, do it right the first time. Don't spend it 3 and 4 and 5 different times.
Yeah, the cheap part twice isn't less than the good part once.
Quit blowing LS. Okay, listen, people. Stop blowing LS head gaskets and wrecking your awesome cars. Just because you can get a junkyard engine and put 35 pounds of boost to it, we all know what the limit of an LS is. Stop blowing head gaskets and destroying your beautiful car. Slow down. If I know I'm going to take my engine and throw the crank and the rods out of it and wreck my car, then I'm going to slow it down a half a second. If I'm going to drive with oil down the side of it for 120 miles, I know what I'm doing is hurting me and my car. So I knew that it had, a broken piston and knew what the problem was. I wouldn't race it like that. It broke on the drive. It didn't break on the race. We detonated the piston driving down the road on the street drive. Here's the other thing. Everybody go ahead and put a diaper or pans on your car. Be considerate of everybody else at the racetrack and don't get yourself hurt. We all push ourselves a little bit too far for without sleep, but to make the next track. So my best advice is just remember this. It's a community. What I do affects the people around me. So I'm going to try to make decisions where it's safe for everybody and it's a plus for everybody.
Yeah.
And if you're doing the same, then your family will be a whole lot happier that, you went 820s instead of 790s and you didn't wreck your car or get hurt. Now, does bad things happen to good people every day? Heck yeah.
All the time.
So overbuild your roll cage and your car and your suspension. I would rather see a funny car cage in a 14-second car than I'd rather see not having a funny car cage and the car goes out and runs 840 and the guy gets killed just because he didn't wear his safety gear. And the other thing is everybody running alcohol. You know, I went and seen Steve Morris, 2 weeks ago?
Or July 3rd.
July 3rd. And I bought him underwear to wear under his suit because he wasn't wearing the undergarments for the methanol. And I'm like, dude, you're my friend. I worry about you. Here's $600 worth of undergarments. Wear them. I said, if I don't see you wearing them at the track, me and you's going to have a conversation. So a lot of guys I hear, they're like, oh, well, you know, this costs a lot of money. You know, buy the extra gloves, wear the extra suit that it's hot. Here's what I do. And it works for me. I'm 55, an old beat up drag racer. But I wear a 20 layer. I wear the underwear, full pants, socks, everything. And I'll grab a bottle every time I go up to the staging lanes. Even if you think you've got to go pee, you don't. You will not. Grab a bottle of water and be hydrated and be conscious and thinking what you're doing. And if it's hot, you know, I've never been to, unfortunately, I've never been to Colorado and raced out there during your guys's, you know, high heat area. But if you miss a pass because you're feeling bad and you don't wreck your car or pass out and get killed, big deal.
That's okay.
You missed a pass. Or if you miss a race, if my car isn't ready and safe to go out, I'm going to miss the race. It just, we're a community. Just like if you don't think we're a community, I've been fortunate enough to meet John Force and know the family, and they're good people.
Real good people.
I knew, I really didn't know Lizzie Musey, but, you know, I know her jerk dad for years and years. And he's a jerk. I love him. Pat's just a New Jersey rough and gruff guy.
Yep.
And I knew him and his wife back when they were young and I was young. You know, here's the whole deal is, we're a community. You know, Lizzie died, and I hate it for Pat. And you know, you look at John Force and, you know, his accident and his family. You know, John's a local boy. He's 45 minutes away from me, you know. So if you miss a race because you're being extra cautious about your car or what you're doing, nobody's going to care.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
So just be safe and be smart about what you're doing. And just, you know, it's okay to ask questions. And I call companies all the time and say, I don't know what I'm doing. I've done this for a lot of years, but, you know, is this a better way to do it? And I learn something every time I talk to a company, and every company's out there to help you. You know, don't be scared to pick up the phone and say, you know, Peterson Oil Systems on my oil tank. You know, I call and Justin's like, oh man, Alan, you know, hey, let's look at it doing this way. And so we redesigned an oil system a little bit to make it better. Awesome. So just ask for help, and everybody in this industry will help you.
Well, and people at the track too will do the same, because I mean, I was fairly new to racing when Greenie, you know, debuted. And so I'm still learning so much every time we go to the track. And, you know, Steve Morris and specifically Devin, you know, those are very intelligent guys and very busy people. And, you know, Devin, when we were testing the car, when we first got it done, him, his boy Justin, and Josh, you know, they all really took me under their wing. And Devin still, you know, texts and will help me out at the track, and just awesome. Goes out of his way to make sure that he's safe and that I'm learning to, you know, be the best co-pilot I can.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Well, guys, that's it. I'm done. We made it through. Like, I mean, Alan hasn't passed out. You guys haven't, you know, like, yeah, you haven't yelled at each other at all. It's been a great couple learning the Whitaker, kind of how all this stuff clicks and whatnot. This has been fun, you guys.
Adam, thank you for all you do for the announcing and the shows and taking your time to do the podcast and have a bunch of us drag and drive idiots on here.
I love it, man. I love it. I tell people all the time I got the best job ever. I talk about my friends to my friends.
Yeah.
It's pretty much I just get to brag on what you're doing to dudes that care about what you're doing. It's yeah, I could almost do no wrong in this job.
Can I interview you for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, please do. Joe Barry has interviewed me, and I would love to have you you would be my second.
Yeah, well, if I can follow Joe's lead, that's a hell of a lot of good footsteps to follow.
Yeah, no, I'm in.
If Joe ever sees this, get your ass back out in that 56 and let's go racing.
I'm already hammering him, and I've offered him my services as a co-pilot as well. And I told him the only thing that we need to do is get rid of that automatic and put a clutch back in it.
I kind of know a lot about a Lenco.
I'm just saying, and he's got one sitting, and his car has never been as quick with the automatic as it has with the Lenco. So with a clutch and a Lenco, that car needs to make a comeback.
Joe, I'm Alan Whitaker, and I would co-pilot for you and do clutches on your Lenco.
Joe, here first.
Go back to college. Joe, I'll come work on your Lenco any day, buddy. I'll be your co-pilot.
Yep. Could you imagine him bringing that thing back out? Taking all the trim off of it with the clutch in it.
So pretty.
Oh my gosh. And then Michelle, she's so good. I'll tell you what, it's amazing. And I'm going to brag on Joe. He would bring a picnic table and coloring books for the kids at the drag strip.
Mm-hmm.
He is such a true, good-hearted person. Him and Michelle, they're amazing. The last people to leave the drag strip at every drag and drive. If somebody's got trouble, they stay and help everybody, or they let the kids color. There are. If you've not met Michelle, you missed out on some wonderful people.
Oh yeah, and there's a great story. Joe and Michelle were out. I think they had the 56 at Sick Week in 2022, the first Sick Week, and Joey was riding with Aiden in the Shitbox of Doom, and I was walking through the sick ward or the quarantine area, and I came across Michelle, and I was like, "Hey Michelle, how are you doing? Is everything good?" Yada yada yada, and she's like, "I'm great. How are you?" And it was like, I don't know, 8:30 or 9 in the morning. And I was like, "Michelle, I'm super drunk." And she was like, "Okay, well, talk to you later." Well, come to find out, she thought I was serious. Oh, so, like, she told Joe, and then Joe was like, "Were you drunk at like 8 this morning?" And I was like, "No, I just told Michelle that." He's like, "Are you sure?" He's like checking me out. Yep. Yeah, exactly. So now my joke with Michelle is it's 9 a.m. Let's get shit faced. Like, let's go. So, it's good. It's super good. Guys, thank you again. This has been so much fun. I can't wait to be on your show. Tell me when. Let's go. Give me a date. Let's make it happen.
We'll do it, Adam.
Awesome, guys. I'm going to bring you in the background. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, and then I'll bring you guys back, and we can we can say goodnight to each other, a little special. But thank you guys again. It was super fun. This was super duper cool.
Thank you, buddy.
Say goodnight to everybody.
Good night.
See you.
Good night, everybody. Go work on your
right. Man, how cool was that? Alan Whitaker. Elena, who I met at Six Summer, and I've never met Donna, so I got to meet Donna for the first time here on my show, and I cannot wait to see her on a Drag and Drive. Again, maybe it's the Elena and Donna show in the future, and Alan is going to be riding the shotgun with Joe Barry on that trip there. So that's going to be good. It's going to be a good time. But what a great night! This was super duper fun. Alan Whitaker, who I met at Six Summer, kind of like in depth, like we got to hang out and actually spend a little bit of time. sat down. We had a great time. Elena was his co-pilot, and like I said, like we got to meet each other. It was cool, kind of talking with her. When I say talking, I mean like Alan did all the talking. But Elena did interject a little bit with a lot of the newbie type stuff, so that was awesome. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much to the Whitakers for being on. Make sure you're passing this stuff around, share it around. Again, That's Cool Drink on all of your podcast platforms. They're behind. I'm like, I need to check it out. I probably have some stuff, some more bandwidth up. So I need to get some more of those uploaded, but lots more of those coming up as well. So you can download them, listen to them on planes and things like that. It's all drag and drive. It's all the time. It's slow cars. It's fast cars. It's friends of mine. It's brand new friends of mine. It's people I've met in the industry. It's been a really good time. So this has been a fun deal to bring to folks. And that said, guys, it's Tuesday night. We've gone a little over a couple of hours here with the Whitakers, and it's time for bed. But thanks so much for tuning in. Tuesday night. I'm back next Tuesday. I've got Stephen Willingham. He is the FAF 8 winner from Rocky Mountain Race Week with his Grand National G-Body, and he's from New York City, man. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a really good one. Thanks so much for tuning in, you guys. Thank you so much for all you folks that have been in here a bunch. Kind of checking it all out. Green cars to the front. I got the Malibu over here. The Whitakers have the what is it called again? I can't remember. It's crap. It's moss green. I'm gonna call it. I can't remember what he called it. But that said, green cars are awesome. That's Cool Drink. It's coming to an end. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tuesday night, the Whitakers. We are done.